I'll be developing the next topic, elements of the oral production. First, we need to know how humans produce speech. Phonetics studies human speech. Speech is produced by bringing air from the lungs to the larynx. Respiration, where the vocal folds may be held open to allow the air to pass through, or may be braced to make a sound. Phonation. The airflow from the lungs is then shaped by the articulators in the mouth and nose. Now let's talk about 5 parts of the phonetic apparatus. First one, lips. The lips are the most visible part of the vocal tract, making them an easy place to start thinking about how the body makes speech sounds. Lips are associated with the production of bilabial speech sounds and labiodental sounds. Despite the distinct structures and functions of the upper lip and the lower lip, the English language reserves a single term, lip, for both structures, referring roughly to the fleshy parts immediately adjacent to the familial border, the often darker hued bands immediately surrounding the mouth. The tongue. The tongue is commonly thought of as the primary mover in speech articulation. It is perhaps the body's most flexible structure, interacting with other parts of the oral and pharyngeal tracts to produce a wide range of vowel and consonant sounds, including velars, palatals, coronals, and bugulars, to mention a few. Taken as a whole anatomical object, the tongue acts as a muscular hydrostat. The volume of the tongue remains constant as it changes shape, so that when the tongue is squeezed in one area by the action of muscles, we expect a corresponding passive expansion in another area to maintain the volume, as with a water balloon. Because of its hydrostatic properties, the human tongue has been compared with other hydrostats in the animal kingdom, such as the octopus arm or squid tentacle. The tongue is also very flexible, but unlike an octopus arm, the tongue is surrounded by hard structures, and it interacts with these to produce its speech movements. The velum. The velum, or soft palate, elevates and lowers during speech production. Like the tongue, it is incredibly coordinated and capable of very fast and fine movements. During speech, the velum's prime function is to close off the nasal cavity. This is a necessary function as most speech sounds are non-nasal. If we didn't have the velum closing off the nasal cavity, we will all be talking through our noses, which will not be pleasant to listen to or produce. And the velum does open for 3 consonant sounds, the nasal sounds. And the other important thing about the velum, or soft palate, is that it is one of the articulators that can be touched by the tongue. The larynx. The larynx, more commonly known as the voice box or the Adam's apple, is crucial in the production and pronunciation of speech sounds. The larynx also produces vocal sounds and prevents the passage of food and other foreign particles into the lower respiratory tracts. The larynx is located at exactly the point where the throat divides between the trachea and the esophagus. Over the larynx is a flap called the epiglottis that closes off the trachea when we swallow. When the epiglottis is pulled back out of the way, the parts of the larynx that are involved in speech production can be seen. And finally, the glottis. The glottis is the opening between the vocal folds located in the larynx. Its position creates different vibration patterns to distinguish voiced and voiceless sounds. In addition, the pitch of the vowel is changed by altering the frequency of vibration of the vocal folds.